Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Tribe and Friends team call. It is Monday, April 29th. It is the last Monday of the month. It is a slow month, it seems, but that's okay. There's still a lot of month left, aka 24 plus 3 hours. And I know I've said this before, and I remember hearing it on a training before. Melanie Mitchell says it all the time. If you go to bed tomorrow night knowing you couldn't give a fingernail more, you've done what you can. So whatever that looks like for you, that's what it looks like. I know that I'm going to be pushing through because I, as Christine Dwyer says, make it a non-negotiable for myself. I've been offering people my house if they would just buy a challenge pack. Anyway, I wanted to just do some quick recognition. We have a couple of people in the house with Success Club 2. I'm on the wrong screen here. We have Melissa Robles. We have Joyce Husk and Leslie and myself sitting at Success Club 2. And our one and only SC earner for the month so far is Jackie with Success Club 8. So way to go and way to lead the pack. We are grateful for you. I also wanted to give another shout out to Dana, one of my newer coaches, who's been sharing the business opportunity as well. So she's doing a nice job with that. Maybe you guys heard this episode of Jenna Kutcher's Gold Digger podcast where she shared a call with her business coach. Good job, Leslie. Leslie's at 4. I loved it, and I had kept skipping over it. It was maybe a week or two old, and I kept skipping over it because just the title of it wasn't intriguing me. And when I was in the car on Sunday, it just came on, and it was so good. And I re-listened to it today because I just wanted to get some of his nuggets. But one of the things he said that I loved is that we are not in the inspiration business. We are in the transformation business. And it's so true because he's like said to Jenna, how many times do people say, oh, you inspire me so much. You inspire me so much. You inspire me so much. Great. Now transform. Now do something about it. It doesn't have to be just me. It doesn't have to be just Teresa and Jackie and Leslie and everybody else. You have to want it and take action and go in for that transformation. So what I would like to do, so if everyone can unmute, we'll do this kind of quickly, just the people who are on the call, and then everybody else can comment after they watch this video with their response. I would like each of us to talk about a customer. It could be someone who's now a coach, but looking at them from a customer perspective. A customer of yours who you know's life has changed, has transformed because they joined with you. And every single one of us who's coaching, whether it's been for 5 minutes or 5 months or almost 5 years, can have a story like this. And remember, we are the team of coaches of one. So if that one person is you, it's okay. But if you could take 30 seconds, 2 minutes, I don't care, and tell us about that person, that would be awesome. I'm going to get started because that's what I'm doing. I am going to talk about Leslie, if I may, because I was actually noticing, I was looking back through some old posts from my 21-day fix group. The very first group I ran was a 21-day fix and 21-day fix extreme group. I joined as a challenger with 21-day fix extreme. It had just come out that month. And then the next month when I ran my group, it was a 21-day fix and 21-day fix extreme group. Everyone had to buy their DVDs. So I wanted to go back into my Facebook and kind of look at what that looked like and what everyone was sharing. And Sarah was one of my challengers. And so she was in there like posting up a storm, and it was super cute. That made me think of you. But then what really made me think of you is when I was talking to my friend Britt yesterday about water. She had messaged me about how much ounces of water should she really drink? Is it really half my body weight? Whatever. So I dug up one of my older posts, and you had liked it. So then I like went through this little rabbit hole of in 2016 and 2017, all of these little interactions that Leslie and I were having over social media. And I just think to myself, first off, what patience it took on everyone's part, and not on purpose. Like, I don't mean like annoying patience, but just what patience it took for all of those pieces to fall into play. You weren't a Sarah. You weren't a Rebecca O'Connell, who was in that very first challenge group of mine and has been in everyone since. You weren't a Jackie who joined like, pretty gung-ho, and you took time because you weren't ready yet. But you were inspired and you were touching base and you were intrigued, and Sarah set you up with that. And when it was time for you to transform, you transformed, and you went from challenger to a discount to like 5 minutes later starting a page and doing all of this, and you've got banners and a logo with your fab face on it and just all this cool stuff. So it's really amazing. I've had plenty of customers with ridiculous transformations. You, of course, are among one of them. But the lifestyle transformation has been really inspiring to me and inspires me to continue to transform. So that's that. Teresa, how about you go next? Because you're next on the screen.
All right. I'm going to have to go with Jana.
Who so oddly is the name of my avatar. I just can't get over it.
Which you thought when I said Jana's coming to work out with us, you were like, oh. So Jana is someone who is very introverted and very shy and very just like to herself, probably more so, but she has so much to offer and she has been through so much in her life. And when we started talking, she was like, yeah, I'll do it. And she went in like all in with Lift 4 last year, and she grew so much, but she had a little bit of a setback then. And I just kept believing in her and kept reaching out to her. And she came back with Transform 20, and she hasn't turned back. So I think that was just like finding that one thing that that program that really
transformed her.
Yeah. And I think that goes with anyone who does this. Like you just find that one thing that makes such a huge difference. But she's always up for a challenge. Doesn't matter what I ask her, maybe to step outside her box. She always tries it and consistent with it, which I love. So I'm just proud of her for stepping outside the box so many times and growing through this in her own way. Inspiring, like when you say inspiring, her mom, her dad, her daughter, and how they're doing that as well. So,
yeah. Because she inspired them to transform.
Absolutely. I'm like through that whole process, she showed them like just by showing up all the time, and they believed in her because she was so consistent and she didn't give up on herself. So
exactly.
She's my one. Yeah.
I love it. Jackie.
My friend Amy has always been athletic. She was a gymnast. She ran. She would take cycling classes. So her transformation wasn't so much physical, even though she is looking amazing now. But she is a nurse, and she has a lot of kids, and she watches kids in her house. And she never does anything for herself. I mean, she would feel guilty going to the gym one day a week in the morning before everyone even got up. And ever since she joined, she has not missed a day. She finds time to do it for herself, whether it's in the morning or, while there's kids hanging on her. And it's just nice to see her do something for herself and transform in that way. Because she's kind of like a people pleaser and is always giving and doing things for everyone else. And it's nice to see her for the first time, I think, ever since I've known her, since, I don't know, we were in elementary school, that she's doing this 100% for herself.
That's awesome. That's the best when you see that, for sure. Leslie.
This actually is perfect timing for today. My challenger, Kelly, she posted today that she went to the doctor and she's had high blood pressure and hypertension, and her numbers were so much improved that the doctor wants her to stop her medicine, and she's going to be 42 in May. And both of her parents have this issue, and she just was really proud of the fact that she's been able to do that with fitness and nutrition. And she's working on being consistent. She's working on, trying to stay on track with her nutrition, but she's doing better than she was when she started. And it's helped, even though she's not there every single day, she keeps coming back to this and it's working. So
that's
I'm really proud
cool.
of her.
That's so great. Now, I want us to think about those people, because there's something else that Jenna Kutcher's mentor coach said in this call that really hit home. And he said to her, that if those people didn't give you their credit card, that transformation would have happened. They would have remained inspired, but they would not have transformed. And when we can look at that and we can tell ourselves that story and we can see those people and we can see our own transformations, that's easy. We feel those every single day. But when we can see the lives we have changed, the lives we have saved, the lives that we have opened up, or that we've helped find themselves and help find a voice and help transform other people, it helps take the sale and make it a transformation transaction. It's not a sale. And I know we all know this, but it's so easy, like I'm in right now, and I'm trying to like be in this place and not in Success Club number place, to get lost in the numbers and the figures and the points and forget about the entire transformation, because it's a transformation business. So it's okay to ask those questions of your people when they are reaching out to you and then backing off because of the price. Not transformation. The objection I keep getting is, I can't commit to anything else right now. And I'm always like, oh, I get it. No problem. And today I was like, well, tell me more about that. Why, what's on your plate? And I had one girl talking about experiencing IVF and going through the IVF experience for 2 years. And she just is so mentally drained, and others. And it just created such a different connection. It hasn't created any sale, and that's okay, because maybe in 6 months, it will, because it'll unlock her transformation when she's ready. And it just made me feel so much more comfortable. And everybody gave me an answer, and everybody divulged something very personal. And that's those connections. So when I stopped, like, okay, next, moving on to the next person, which I know you know, and I know we all know this and we all do this, but it's so easy in those moments when we're pushing and we're doing our power hour to just check off the invites or to check off the follow-ups, but to not give ourselves the space to allow that inspiration to move to transformation. And that happens when there's connection, that happens when there's a relationship, that happens when there's story. So just keep that in mind. And that's when then they give us the credit card, because they're unlocking their transformation. They're not paying us. They're just unlocking their transformation. And people rarely commit to what they don't pay for. They rarely invest in themselves. And when they do, they're going to give it their all. And whatever their all looks like. Some people are Jana's and some people are not. But that is still a commitment to themselves, that in that moment when they're giving us their objections, they're still being inspired, but they're not ready to transform. So keep that in mind. Keep making those connections. Keep asking those questions. And hopefully more transformations will be unlocked for us. So I just thought that was really cool. If you have not listened to that episode, it's worth it. He gives a lot of cool nuggets, and she asks all the questions from her perspective. But it's just neat to kind of hear her being coached in that respect. And she also did an interview with Tony Robbins. That's really good. If you kind of go through like his opening story and you can get to some of the nuggets that they talk about, it's very transformative. So just some things to consider. So I wanted to give us a space to kind of troubleshoot. I know with 4 of us talk all the time, so maybe, we have nothing to troubleshoot with each other, but nothing's perfect. But if there's anything anybody is struggling with, anything like an objection you just recently got, or you don't know where to go with this conversation or this request or whatever, or on the flip side, if something you're doing is working really well and you want to just do a quick share. So it's like a troubleshoot and a share for a few minutes before we begin our action item. Does anybody have anything to throw into the ring?
I would say this is just random. I don't think it even falls under any of the things you just said, but I have had like several people who I talked to, and I never mentioned Beachbody because I knew that they had done it, ask me a question this month and me follow up with like, well, who's your coach? And they're like, I bought it off the website. No one ever reached out to me. So I always kind of just count those people out, because I always assume that I know they were doing it. Like, why would I reach out to them? And I've had like 4 people like, well, how do I get to be in your group? So yeah, it was just a reminder for everyone.
That's a really good point, because it is. I actually just asked someone that today, because she'd asked me what workout I was doing. It was when I did Sanity. She goes, Sean T, and wait, what's that? She's like, I've done T25 and I've done Insanity. And I'm like, I've done T25. You didn't make it to beta, because that is, but And I was like, oh, it's from Beachbody On Demand workout. Do you have that? She goes, I do. Which program? And so I told her, and she was okay, great, I'll check it out. And then I asked her if she has a coach, and she hasn't gotten back to me, but it was like, why not ask that question? And because I looked back at her feed and there's nothing there to say she's coaching. And if
Right.
she
Yeah. The girl had said to me, one of the girls I had reached out to, and she was like, oh, I have Beachbody. And I was like, oh, and she's like, I just hate joining challenge groups. I don't want to spend the money. And I was like, she's like, it annoys me that to keep buying stuff. I said, what are you talking about? You know, did you buy like a challenge pack or bot access? She's like, oh, I just bought off the website. I don't know. I assumed I had to like keep buying. Like I thought groups, you have to pay for them. Like she just was like confused. I was like, oh, so.
Well, and because back in the day, you had to purchase a program to be in it, and they were program specific. And also, some coaches do still require Shakeology HD or something.
Right.
But I figure they come back around. They order more eventually when they stick around. But I like it. Anybody else? Something that's working? A troubleshooting item? Just don't shoot me.
No, I just did something today, and so far I've gotten a good response, but I'm trying to team up with other like small businesses, like what we do, but not what we do, to do like a fun Mother's Day giveaway where I'll trade, like we'll trade things to them, they'll give to me, I'll create a basket, and that will be something to hopefully help encourage, do a giveaway with any purchase. So just reaching out and getting to know others, and that you're supporting the community, which we've been talking a lot about.
Yeah, that's really cute.
It's always like just trying something different and seeing if it works, because you never know unless it does, or unless you do.
Yeah. The webinars last week, or the Beachbody Champions trainings, just reminded me of the fact that it doesn't hurt to try. It really doesn't hurt to try. And what you said, Jackie, I think you said that it was what's her name, Melissa Norco, who mentioned it at that retreat. And then I've heard other coaches say it recently, since you guys said it, is that these people aren't paying your bills. So if they think it's awkward, that's on them. Although I did see a girl like doing an obvious snap story or something as she was walking down the street today, and I was like, what a goofball. And then I was like, wait, I do that all the time. But she was a teenager and she was making really funny faces. So I don't know. Anybody else?
Did you make any friends at Starbucks? How'd that go? Or the new coffee shop, right? You tried a new coffee shop.
Oh, are you talking? Oh, yeah. I didn't know if you were talking to Pam or. It was. Yeah, I didn't make any connections there, except for the lady that owns the place. So, but I think posting about it engaged a lot of conversation, and just I'll meet up with people at different places and getting different options. Just twisted it a little bit. But
you guys inspired me to go to Starbucks today. I mean, no one really has to inspire me to go to Starbucks, but I was finishing school. I was leaving because my co-teacher doesn't stop talking. The student teacher I had got a job at my school, and she just visits me all the time and asks a million questions. I cannot do anything for myself because she just asks me questions the whole time after school. And so I just started packing up and gently like walking out the door. So then I'm like, well, now I'm like way earlier than I'd like to leave. It's like, should I go home and do laundry, or should I go sit somewhere and do work? You can do what they did. I'm going to go sit somewhere and do work. So you inspired me to transform my afternoon.
And then you take those hashtags and like you incorporate the hashtag to go with where you are in the location, and then you go find all the people that were there. So
True.
I added them.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. All right. Leslie, anything to say? You don't have to. I'm just curious. All right.
I actually feel a really good flow when I run ads. And that like really adds to my cold market. And it's just helping me figure out how to have conversations with people and be more direct about what I do, but in a more like in a less salesy way and a more like, well, what are your goals? And like asking them more questions. So I've been really doing well with that, I think, and getting people to talk to me
Nice.
instead of
Are
ignore
you
me.
on both Facebook and Instagram?
Just Facebook. I need to do something else with Instagram. I feel like that's kind of stagnant at this moment.
Yeah, but you're rocking Facebook. That seems to be more of your niche.
I just need to like convert people. I actually have somebody that I think is purchasing from the UK, but there was all kinds of technical difficulties today, so she didn't purchase. But she will. She's excited. So
We have until
it was just really
California.
weird. Like I don't know how many people have gotten people from the UK, but it was very bizarre, the whole share cart thing with her.
I have one, but she used to live here, so she's American. But I don't know. I don't remember because I shared
It wouldn't let her
Oh.
select. It wouldn't allow her to select UK as her country.
Oh, that is weird.
And I did it from
Right.
the UK share cart.
Because I just did one last week, she only just got the 3-month membership, but it like changed when I put in her email address, it automatically changed it
Yeah.
to the UK. I don't know. But hers, and then I think she did something and she's just not explaining it to me well, but it's showing 2 memberships and one's active and one's canceled. But she's like, I said to her, I think you canceled your membership, but she can still go in and use it. So it's like you accidentally unlock 2 and it realized, and it's just like fixing it. But I don't know. And I don't know. That was the only weird UK thing I had. It just showed up twice. But I don't know. All right. I wanted to do an 11 and 22 challenge because we haven't done it in a little while, but I want us to speak from, you can do whatever you want. You'll be muted and do your thing. But I was hoping, I'm planning on speaking from the inspiration transformation perspective. So just being kind of ballsy and talking to those people who have said they inspire you and say, I love that I've inspired you. I love that you've said that to me, or I can tell that I inspire something in you because you're constantly showing love on my posts. It's time for me to pay it forward and help you unlock a transformation. Whatever it is you're looking for, I have a feeling that I can help you with that, and just be pretty loving in that respect. I don't feel like I'm going to say anything about coaching or a challenge group or whatever, but just speak to that overall transformation and let that see where it sits. So for Instagram, I'm going to do mine with voice memos. So if you want to turn your, you know what, let's see. I will not do voice memos because I'm recording and that'll be silly. But if you want to turn your volume off, if you're going to be doing voice memos, because I'll just talk my way through this, so that I can give you timestamps. But I'm going to set my timer for 22 minutes. Try to get 11 of those out. Alrighty, go. Maybe I'll send crazy pictures of them, to them. I'm just going to ask what today's date is, like it's not burned into my brain.
Is someone's house beeping or is it my house?
That was my
Oh, I was just going to go explore because I thought it was in my house. Sorry. I got nervous.
sorry.
No, it's fine.
18 and a half minutes to go. I love writing FU on my index card when I follow up with somebody. I had a person recently reach out to me, change me to their coach because they had like just the free account because they really wanted shakes and liked my style and then have ghosted on it completely. And I'm like, I don't even know where you came from. Actively did the switch to me on their own. Where do these people, where do they go? What happened? Like, you weren't even in my life. You came into my life. How we doing? Getting done? Halfway. Sorry for my Facebook. I just thought Leslie's man voice was back in the evening. Six minutes. 1.5 minutes. Get one more really good one if you can't get two more. That's the timer. I'm going to finish typing out this message. Okay. Well, ladies, I am going to end the recording. And thank you all. That was a fun challenge. I hope that you got your 20 or 22, your 11. Did everyone hit 11?
I don't know.
Jackie looks scared. Oh, that's my favorite podcast, Jackie. But I don't know if Too Risque for Radio should go on our recording.